Graft is a drafting game. Graft is a drafting game. A simple drafting game that works just like every other drafting game at the beginning. You have a hand of cards, you pick one, you place it down in front of you, everyone reveals, you move on to the next thing. And then you're continuing to do that. What you're doing is you're filling your ship of cargo. That's what you're drafting, is this cargo. At some point, you're going to want to ship this cargo. And you will play your ship cargo card, which everyone has. And then you will replace the ship cargo card with another card from your hand, and then you will ship those items out. And the items can get you points in different ways. Depending on what they say on it, you can get a point per card, a point if you have each green card, things like that. And the art, of course, is very cute on it. So there's a bunch of different things that you can draft. The tricky part of this is there's parts on the card that show you that once you draft this card, you then can't play any yellow cards. Once you draft this card, you can't play any more green or blue cards, so on and so forth. So that's where there's that push your luck aspect. So you're drafting a card, and then you're going, okay, well, I hope my next hand actually has yellows or blues or anything that's not pink, because the card I just put down won't let me play any more pink. If it does, then great. Then maybe I'm going to ship my cargo and we're good. The end game trigger points at the bottom of the card will trigger at the end, and I'll get my points if I'm able to ship it off. If not, then you bust. And by busting, you have to get rid of all your cards and you put it in the compost. And you still get a point for each compost card, which isn't that bad, but obviously you're trying to go for these big points. You're also trying to go for these goal cards. So it'll say you need 2 green and 2 pink cards. If you're the first person to ship those off, then you get 10 points. Everyone after that gets 5 points. And then there's other cards that if you have a yellow and a pink card adjacent, same thing. If you're the first person, you get 5 points, and then next person you get 2. So there's going to be random ones of these out that you're working. Everyone is working to the goal, but it's that race of who can do it first. And when you do, you put these little tokens. I'll take them out of the bag because, honestly, this is by IB Studios. I know I didn't mention that. So this is Graft by IB Studios. The designer is not on the box.
Max Anderson, Zach Dixon, and Austin Harrison. Artist Kelly Nakamura.
Okay. Plays 3 to 5. It says 40 minutes. It all depends on how long people take to choose and draft. I mean, just like any other drafting game, it can go quick, but for the most part, it's going to take a little longer because people are going to have those tough decisions. But there's not much setup. You remove cards based on how many players you have. You randomly put out gold cards, and you give everyone these little meeples that are really, really, really cute. They're from the world of Tend. So Tend is this big flip and write game that came out from IV Studios that absolutely blew up and everyone loves. I have not had a chance to play it, but this is in that world. And I guess it's like this cute little space world where you're growing things and shipping it off. So this is like the next part. Like you're growing it in Tend, now you're shipping the stuff back to another planet. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So you draft, you put those cargo into your spaceship, you try to make sure that you're not gonna mess up what requirements are needed or what cards you want to avoid, because once you hit that, you bust, you have to compost everything, and you have to start all over. You do this until all the cards are gone. Once all the cards are gone, you then go through everything that's in your compost, get the points for that. Any gold cards that you were the first or second on, you get the points for that. And then you trigger, obviously, any end game points that are on the cards as well. The big thing about this is obviously the points that are on the cards. Those only trigger for that ship that you sent the cargo in. It's not your total cards that you have. And there are like extra little, tricky cards that give you extra points for things in your compost. So you might be able to get away with composting a lot of cards because you have other cards that work with it. So there's that, again, push your luck aspect of how you're going to draft. It's that aspect of drafting and sort of trying to figure out what you're going for. Are you going for the goal? Are you just going for what's in front of you and trying to get the best points out of that ship at that time and then sending it off? It's weird because with drafting games, usually you want more cards because the more cards you get, you score more points. Like Sushi Go. For each dumpling you have, you get 1 point, then 3, then 5, and then it just keeps escalating. This is, no, don't push your luck. You might be shipping something that only has 3 cards on it, but it still gives you a decent amount of points, because if you push it one more turn, you're going to bust, and then you're out of luck. So Gary, did I miss anything, or what's your thoughts on it, I guess?
I guess I would say that you're going to need a decent amount of space for this, especially if you're playing with like 5 players, because everybody's board or their shipping or whatever can get pretty big. When we were playing at one time, one of our friends had like 8 or 9 cards before he finally shipped. And whenever you do ship, everybody refills their hands to 6. That was one thing that you didn't mention. So a lot of games, you're just limited to that round. Like Sushi Go, you get the cards and you only draft that. So there is that kind of mechanic that you can push your luck of being like, man, I'm not going to ship yet because I think Adam's going to ship, and then I'm going to get a whole new hand of cards. So you can really play that mechanic to it. And if you start to bust too much, there's a certain card in there that will give you extra points in your compost. So there's different ways to play.
There's also a card that lets you dig back into your compost and take cards out, which I thought was pretty interesting. But yeah, like you said, usually drafting, you have 7 cards. Once everyone picks one of those 7, that's it. But yeah, when someone ships, everyone refills their hand. So you can push pretty far if you want to, and if you're able to do that, you can score a bunch of points, which, like Gary said, one of the times we played, our friend just cleaned up with one of it. Yeah, it was over. There's not much catch-up mechanic. It's again, I think the weirdest part of it is it's a limiting drafting game, which is not usually the case. Usually when you draft, there's not really that much of like, I don't want to draft anything this turn. I just need to ship and get this done with. And it sort of punishes you if you do push your luck. Like usually you push your luck and you're like, yay, but it's so hard to get that yay feeling in this game. And I think that was that was the point of the game. I know the same thing with the flip and right within Tend is, again, it's a flip and right, but it's not your normal like, oh, I'm going to flip this and do this and do this. It's like, okay, you have almost no resources. What do you really want to do? I feel like they got the same feeling in that drafting game. I like it. It's a play for me. It's not something I would go out and buy, because this is not the type of game for people that are just getting into games, because you're going to tell them, oh, you can't do that a lot. And I feel like new gamers, they don't want those. They want feeling of like, well, I get this point and this and this. They want like that fun. They want to win, honestly, too. So with this, it's like, oh, I'm playing this card. And it's like, no, you messed up, because remember this? And it's like, no, I don't remember that. Like, this is the first time I'm playing a drafting game. This is not what you want to give someone that's never played a drafting game, never played a push your luck game. But people that like what do I want to say? I want to say like a torturing game. It doesn't torture you, but you really got to like go for it, or you really got to play it tight. And you got to pretty much play how everyone else is playing. If you see someone that's like, yeah, I'm going to keep going for it, and it's like, okay, I'm going to play it tight, because they're probably going to mess up, and then I'll reap the rewards. And again, in drafting games, you really got to have a good memory to remember what's coming back around, because then if you have an idea of what people are drafting and what's coming back to you, you have a better chance of winning this game. And this game is very tight, because once you start putting down cards, you're limited to almost nothing that you can put down. And then you're like, do I take one more card? And by the time I usually hit that, do I take one more card? It's usually too late. It's like, no, you should have did it last turn, and now you busted and put all your stuff in the trash. And it's like, dang. So yeah, it's a play for me, but I wouldn't look to buy it, because again, I don't think I can show this to a lot of people. I like playing it. I like the tough decisions, but I don't feel like I want to subject new gamers to this.
Yeah, it's borderline walk away for me. Like, I would play it. I don't love some of the mechanics to it, and it just seems a little bit difficult, like you mentioned. There's also just other drafting games that I would rather play instead.
Oh, yeah. I think the biggest issue, too, is, I think you mentioned it before, maybe not on this, but, like, it's a game that, what do I want to say? I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. It's too limiting of a game. You want to be able to do things, and it just doesn't let you do what you want to do. And beautiful game. Love the way it looks. I'm interested in 10 now, because I do like that tough decision. It punishes you for not making the right decision, and that you need a certain type of gamer for that.
Right. Some
If you
people
like
like
those
that,
games,
and if you do like when it pays off, or the risk and maybe not always having the easy choices.
yeah, like
Very pretty, and it has a lot going on. If you like the 10 universe, it's going to be something for you. It is about a $30 game according to the
I'm
website.
not surprised with the production value. I mean, the cards are really nice. They're thick. The meeples are fantastic. They could have just went with cardboard cutouts, but Ivy Studio never does.
They
So
never,
I
and
give
I give them a lot of credit for that. They never really cheap out. They always
no.
go for, this is going to be something that you have and you cherish and you take care of. It's not going to be a Uno that you leave out and spill soda on and then just get rid of it and buy a new
Oh
one.
yeah. And if you like, I think I'm trying to think of the best person for it. If you like those pandemic games where you're trying to beat it and you're probably going to lose the first couple of times before you actually win, and it gives you that tough decision. This is a game that I think you would absolutely love, and I do like it. It's just not a game that I think I could get enough people to play. So if I had a group of gamers that played more games like that, I think it would be a buy for me. But I know I'm not going to get it to the table that much, so there's really no reason for me to purchase the game if I obviously didn't already own it. But yeah, that was Graft by IV Studios, 3 to 5 players, and says about 40 minutes. I would say it plays a little longer than that. It's about an hour game because, again, you are making very tough decisions. So I think that's the other problem with it, too. It is a longer game. If they could shorten this to maybe a 30-minute game, it wouldn't feel as punishing when you're pushing so hard and then you lose and then you realize you have another, 40 minutes because it's only drafting 3 times and everyone else has shipped 3 things off and you've composted everything. I think that's the other thing too. So, but yeah, but that was Graft by Ivy Studios.